Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today I will discuss the next, that is the criteria for selection of a method and strategy. Different experts suggest different criteria for selection of teaching method or strategy. These suggested aims, goals and objectives, foundations, commitment, content and students' experience as appropriate criteria. According to this, aims, goals, foundations, which may include philosophical, psychological, social and economic foundations, subject matter and learner experiences are the most suitable criteria for selection of a method or strategy. Brady 1992 explains that variety, scope, validity, appropriateness and relevance as means to judge learning activities. So according to Brady, variety of experiences, student appropriateness, which may include students' interest, age level, individual differences, are the perfect criteria for the selection of a method or strategy. Selection of learning activities. This model suggests 4 criteria that includes objective, learner appropriateness, resources and constraints. A teacher can use this criteria for selection of a strategy or method. Criteria for selection of a method or strategy. Criteria for selection of teaching method and strategy includes objectives, learner appropriateness, resources and constraints. First of all, I will explain objectives. Objectives mean intended outcomes, or what do we want to achieve. They are the starting point, the scope of entire educational program and the nature of learning activities provided are embodied in them. If the objectives are expressed precisely and clearly, the selection and organization of learning activities, content and evaluation become easy. So teacher must select teaching strategy or method which is appropriate to facilitate the curriculum objectives. For example, if a science curriculum objective requires to understand the operation of scientific equipment, then the interactive and expository strategies would be appropriate, although the inquiry would not. Similarly, if the curriculum objective seeks to emphasize cultural empathy in literature, then inquiry and models of reality teaching strategies would be far more appropriate than expository and interactive strategies. So it is important for the curriculum developer to determine exactly what the stated objectives seek to achieve when deciding the most suitable learning activities for inclusion in the curriculum. The major point to be made in applying the objective is that the type of methods and technique selected by the curriculum developers mainly dependent upon the nature of the objectives involved. This process reinforces the need for well-constructed and clearly phrased statements of curriculum intent. As there are many teaching methods and techniques, teacher must select these methods and techniques which meet the curriculum intentions. It is important to limit the range of potential techniques to those which suit the objective as a first step. Next step is selection of teaching learning method. An experienced teacher will probably be able to choose an appropriate method or mix of methods for achieving a particular objective or group of objectives. This element has been ignored too often in the past, and even it is being ignored at the present. It is not fair to ask teachers to achieve certain objectives or goals without giving them guidelines how to go to the achievement of desired objectives. Next step is learner appropriateness. It is important to select teaching method or teaching strategy according to student appropriateness. At this level, the teacher select the teaching method, teaching strategy according to the student interest, abilities, individual differences and level of development. It is also possible to relate teaching strategies or teaching methods to the developmental psychology. According to Jean Piaget, some activities would be more appropriate to a particular level of learner development than others. For example, expository and inquiry strategies may be more appropriate to the formal operations level, although for different reasons. In earlier stages, drill and repetition may be more appropriate, as might individualization and small groups. So in one sense, this criterion will already have been considered when the objective itself was decided upon. Next step is resources. Having considered the nature of the curriculum's objectives and the characteristics of the learner, teachers should apply the criterion of resource availability. Some methods require hardware and software resources, but do these resources are available within the institution, and are they available at the required time? So the availability of the needed resources is very important criteria to be applied to the selection of method or strategy. Next step is constraints. In all teaching learning situation, there is a number of constraints that operate to further reduce the choice of the most appropriate teaching method or strategy. For example, after having considered all the earlier criteria, one may have decided that an excursion or field trip is the best way to put across the objectives. However, an excursion may take half a day, while an audio-visual presentation may have nearly the same impact in just 20 minutes. Another constraint might be a teacher recognition of his or her own limitations. For example, some teachers may feel uncomfortable with the noise generated by group discussions and simulations. This of course further reduces the choice of appropriate methods available for a given objective. Other constraints to be considered when selecting learning activities in a school setting include financial availability, availability of staff, school policy, and central organization policy. This model or process suggests how curriculum developers might proceed in selecting appropriate teaching strategies or teaching methods. The model further suggests that developers have an intimate knowledge of the institution in order to select methods effectively.